Do you want to grow your audience? Of course, we all want more listeners, more viewers, more readers. But how do you get people to pay more attention to what you're doing? Today, I'm going to tell you how, and it has nothing to do with social media or your email list. Today, I'm sharing 5 reasons why being a podcast guest will improve your results. Now, in case you missed the memo, podcasting has taken the world by storm. As we sit and speak today, there are over 2.4 million podcasts in existence. Now, not all of them are creating new content, but that's a lot of podcasts, and that means there are a lot of podcast hosts and producers who are looking for great guests to come on their show, showcase their expertise, and help them create great content for their audience. This is why I feel being a podcast guest is the best way to build your brand. You can amplify your message. You can do so many great things in regards to collaboration. Being a guest is where it's at. And I'm going to give you 5 reasons why. Here's number 1. No matter what space you exist in, if you're not working on that know, like, and trust factor, you're just never going to make it. Period. It's that simple. People need to know you, people need to like you, and people need to trust you before they're ever going to do business with you. No matter what you're doing, whether you're offering a service, selling them a product, if they don't like you and they don't trust you, they're going to move on to someone that they do trust. So you want to put yourself in a position to where people that find you are going to know you, like you, and trust you. And the podcasting platform is the perfect space to do that. With so many new ears coming to this medium, in addition to all the ears that are already here, being a guest on podcasts gives you the greatest platform to reach new audiences and to tell them all about what you do, who you are, what you believe in. And the more you do that, the more they're going to know you, the more they're going to like you, and the more they're going to, wait for it, trust you. So I just lightly touched on this. Every time you go on a new podcast, you have the opportunity to touch a new audience. And if these podcasts are relevant to your space, which they should be, because if you're going on podcasts that aren't, you're not benefiting anybody. But if you're on podcasts that have audience members that are in your space, that are looking for information and content and products and services based on what you do, every time you're on a new show, you have an opportunity to meet new people and bring those people into your circle. Because if you provide them value on a good podcast interview, instinctively, what they're going to do is look you up because they're going to want more value from you. And that's how you get them into your circle. So it goes back to that know, like, and trust factor. But every time you're on a podcast, you have that great opportunity to reach a brand new audience and bring brand new people into your circle. That's incredibly powerful and extremely difficult to duplicate anywhere else. One of the coolest things about podcasts is the fact that they're global. You could be talking to somebody on the other side of the planet and providing value for your audience. At the same time, you could be going on a show with somebody down the street, but they may have listeners on the other side of the world. That's what's cool about this. It's got global reach. And every time you find a new podcast to be a guest on, your opportunities for amplifying your message on a global scale goes way up. So keep that in mind. Every time you go on a podcast, you don't know where all of their listeners are filtering in from. So you have a chance to reach people in corners of the world that you may have never even considered. If you're looking to grow your brand, one of the greatest things that you can have filtering into your business each and every day is warm, qualified leads. And when you go on different podcasts and you do everything that we've already talked about so far today, you have an opportunity to generate a warm lead and bring them into your business. When you're showcasing your expertise on a podcast and giving them the information and the value that they seek, when they look you up, and if they feel that they know you, they like you, and they trust you, and they want to take the next steps to do business with you on whatever level that may be, they're already qualified. You don't have to worry about that sales process and walking them through because they've already learned so much from you. And because you provided that front end value, chances are they took time to look things up a little bit more and got themselves even more entrenched in what you do. So going on a good podcast and giving a great interview gives people an opportunity to get to know you, but it also establishes them as someone that's warm. They're not coming to you cold. They're going to know all about you, and they're more than likely already going to be sold on doing business with you. Now, this is one of the biggest reasons why I love being a guest on podcasts. Now, we've talked about some great points today, but there's a lot of people out there that just don't have the time to create their own podcast. And as a podcaster, I know how much time and energy goes into making podcasts. And if you're a podcaster, you know that as well. So there's some people out there that just don't have time in their busy schedule to work in all of the factors of making a podcast. Even if they're just the host and they're outsourcing all of the production work, there's just not enough time in the day to make it happen. But that doesn't mean that you can't leverage the power of the podcasting platform if you fall into that bucket. All you need to do is be a guest on other shows. Again, these are established networks that are looking for experts to come on and showcase what they know and provide value. So you don't have to worry about building the audience. It's already been built for you. Your job is to show up and be impactful, be recommendable, be a powerhouse when you get behind that microphone and give them the value that they seek. So instead of starting your own podcast, which of course you can do, and if you're looking to bring in more listeners to your podcast, again, I still 100% believe that going on other podcasts is a great way to grow your audience. But if you're not in that school of thought where you think making your own podcast is the right move for you right now, you can still maximize the power of the platform by being a guest on other shows. So there you have it. That's 5 good reasons why being a podcast guest is going to improve your results. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please drop them in the comments below, and if you have any big reasons or big takeaways or things that you've learned from being a guest on other podcasts, I would love to hear about them. Leave those in the comments. I'll be sure to respond, and I look forward to talking with you again in the near future. End of video.